What is up, math superstars? In this edition of Mr. Peterson Presents, we're going to talk about how to make a decimal into a percent. And so with these videos, a series about different conversions, we're just going to write the same number just in a different format. And so for this one, we're going to take a decimal and then how to make it into the percent format. And so we have hints here is that we're going to read the decimal. And then the last place value is going to be the denominator. And then what we have to do is we have to then create an equivalent fraction with a denominator that has a value of 100. So let's take a look at these examples here. And so we're given this decimal here. So we have 0. So we have 0. The decimal point is and then we're given 2/10. So our first step is let's go and write out the fraction 2/10. And then to get the percent, the fraction has to be out of 100. And so what we can do is we can go ahead then now and let's go to multiply the top and the bottom by 10 because we know that 10 times 10 equals 100. So we have to then do 2 times 10 gives us a numerator 20. So we can say 20 out of 100. And we can also say 20%. So now what about this fraction here? And so we have 0. And then we have and. And then we're given this number here. We can write that as 2/100. So let's go ahead and write that down as a fraction. So I have 2 out of 100. And we notice that our denominator is already 100. So we can say that our numerator is the percent. So I can write that as 2%. So in these examples, all we're doing is we're taking our decimal, we're making it into a fraction. So it's going to be a little easier to see. Make sure that our fraction as the denominator is 100. And then the numerator ends up to be the percent. So now what about this example? So we have 0 and so we have 102 thousandths. So let's go ahead and write that out as a fraction. 102 over 1,000. So in this case, we need to get a percent, it needs to be out of 100. And so to go from 1,000 to 100, what we're going to do here, and so we're going to go ahead and divide the top and bottom by 10. What this is going to do is that 1,000 divided by 10 gives us 100. And in this case, 102 divided by 10 as a decimal is 10.2. And so you notice that our numerator is going to be our percent. So we can say that we have 10 and 2/10%. And so you notice something here is that if I go ahead and the little trick behind this is that what we can do is we can take our decimal, and if we want to make a percent, we can move that 2 place values to the right to get 10.2. And so what we can always do, though, the surefire way is to write out the decimal in word form, put it over the fraction, and then make sure that our fraction is out of 100 because the word percent means out of 100.